Myrrhvale, the shimmering coast, stands as a beacon of civilization, commerce, and cooperation across the known world. A continent-sized maritime republic, it thrives on the ceaseless motion of trade, diplomacy, and discovery. Its fleets crisscross the oceans and lakes that combine the world, its merchants fill every port, and its adventurers map the edges of the world. Myrrhvale's strength lies not in conquest, but in its mastery of connection, a realm united by the sea and large lakes, governed by debate, and defended by both coin and courage. The land of Myrrhvale is a vast tapestry of waterways, an intricate network of interlinked lakes, rivers, and coastal inlets that stretch across the heart of the continent. These lakes are not mere bodies of water, but inland seas, so immense that their horizons blur into mist and sky. Many are deep enough to host full-size naval fleets, and their shores are lined with bustling port cities, shipyards, and floating markets. The Republic's founders recognized early that these waters were the arteries of the land, carrying goods, people, and ideas between distant regions. The lakes became both lifelines and boundaries, shaping the Republic's identity as a civilization built upon the water. Over centuries, channels and canals were carved by both engineering and magic to link the lakes into a single navigable system. These waterways now connect to the open ocean at multiple points, forming a continuous maritime loop that circles the known realms. Merchant ships can travel from the inland capital to the farthest coastal colonies without ever leaving the Republic's waters. This interconnected design not only revolutionized trade, but also allowed Myrrhvale to unify its diverse provinces under one maritime banner. The Republic's senators often say that the water binds us tighter than any wall, and indeed, it is this fluid geography that has made Myrrhvale both prosperous and resilient. The Great Lakes themselves are named and revered. Lake Varen, the silver expanse, whose mirrored surface reflects the stars. Lake Thalor, known for its floating citadels and shipwright academies. And Lake Myr, the heart of the Republic, where the Senate's capital city rises from a cluster of islands joined by bridges of marble and copper. Each lake has its own culture, dialect, and economic specialty, yet all are united by the same maritime spirit. The people of Lake Varen are famed navigators and astronomers. Those of Lake Thalor are engineers and artificers. And the islanders of Lake Myr are diplomats and philosophers. Together, they form a mosaic of talents that sustain the Republic's greatness. Because of this geography, Myrrhvale's fleets are as common inland as they are at sea. Lake navies patrol the inner waters, ensuring safe passage for merchant convoys and maintaining peace among the Republic's provinces. These lake fleets are smaller than the oceanic armadas, but no less advanced, often serving as testing grounds for new technologies and magical innovations before they are deployed to the open sea. The interconnected lakes also allow for rapid mobilization. A fleet can move from one frontier to another through the canals in a matter of days, an advantage few other nations can match. This fluid mobility has made invasion nearly impossible, for Myrrhvale's defenders can strike from any direction by water or by sky. In time, the Republic's unity through water gave rise to its political philosophy. The people of this realm have risen to unmatched prominence in global trade, commanding respect and influence across every known kingdom. Their mastery of commerce is not born merely from wealth, but from generations of refined expertise, innovation, and strategic foresight. Where others see trade as a means to an end, they see it as an art form, an intricate dance of negotiation, logistics, and diplomacy. Their merchants are renowned for their ability to navigate both political and geographical barriers, ensuring that goods flow seamlessly even through the most hostile territories. Unlike other realms that dabble in trade as a secondary pursuit, this society has institutionalized it through the establishment of a dedicated trade school. Within its walls, students study the sciences of valuation, cultural exchange, and market psychology. They learn to read the subtle shifts of supply and demand, to anticipate the desires of distant markets, and to forge alliances that transcend borders. Graduates of this institution are not merely traders, they are strategists, economists, and diplomats who carry their nation's banner into every commercial negotiation. Their trade routes are legendary, webs of commerce that stretch far beyond the boundaries of conventional maps. These routes weave through deserts, mountains, oceans, and even the shadowed lands beyond known civilization. They have established outposts and way stations in every corner of the world, ensuring that no realm is beyond their reach. Through these networks, they have brought prosperity not only to themselves but to countless others who depend on their goods, knowledge, and connections. Their wealth is as diverse as their reach, encompassing rare spices, enchanted artifacts, exotic textile, and precious metals. Yet what truly sets them apart is their guiding philosophy, encapsulated in their proud slogan, "You want, we find it. No rock unturned, no item non-traceable." This creed reflects their unyielding commitment to discovery, resourcefulness, and precision. To them, every transaction is a promise kept, every deal a testament to their unmatched mastery of trade. Near Lake Myrrh lies Myrrhvale, the capital, rises from the heart of the archipelago like a crown of copper and glass. Its harbors stretch for miles, filled with ships from every continent, while its streets are alive with merchants, diplomats, and travelers. At the city's center stands the Senatorial Forum, a vast amphitheater of bronze and marble, where the Republic's greatest minds gather to shape its destiny. Nearby, the Hall of Waves houses the Council of 12, the High Chancellor, and the Vice Chancellors, whose voices guide the tides of policy and power. Myrrhvale's government is a maritime republic, balancing democracy, merit, and commerce. Its political system is designed to represent both the wealth of its merchant dynasties and the will of its people, ensuring stability across its vast territories and trade routes. The Senate of 400 is the cornerstone of Myrrhvalean governance, an institution as ancient as the Republic itself. It is both a parliament and a council of magnates composed of 400 elected families who represent the diverse regions, guilds, and interests of the realm. Senators are elected, at least 6 years. Each senatorial seat is held by a family, not an individual. These families are elected by regional assemblies, gatherings of merchants, guildmasters, and civic leaders every 12 years. While lineage grants prestige, seats are not hereditary. Families must continually earn their place through service, wealth, and reputation. To qualify for election, a family must 1. Maintain a registered fleet or trade enterprise within the Republic. 2. Contribute to public works or naval defense. 3. Uphold the Code of the Copper Wave, the Republic's founding charter. 4th, demonstrate transparency in commerce and civic conduct. The Senate's composition reflects Myrrhvale's diversity. Merchant princes from the tropical isles sit beside dwarven shipwright clans, elven spice magnates, and human explorers whose fortunes were made on distant shores. The Senate serves as the legislative and deliberative body of the Republic, responsible for drafting and passing laws governing trade, taxation, and diplomacy. regulating the merchant guilds and adventurers' guilds, approving naval budgets and mercenary contracts, overseeing infrastructure, ports, canals, shipyards, and lighthouses, electing the Council of 12 every 8 years. Senatorial sessions are renowned for their eloquence and intensity. Debates can last for days, with orators invoking the sea's will, the Republic's destiny, and the balance of prosperity. Every session begins with the ringing of the copper bell, a ritual symbolizing unity in purpose. Over time, the Senate has divided into several influential blocks. The Mariners' Bloc, advocates for naval expansion and exploration. The Guild Compact represents the merchant and adventurers' guilds. The Hearth League focuses on domestic welfare, agriculture, and labor rights. The Iron Circle, a coalition of industrialists and shipwrights. The Horizon Pact, reformists and explorers who seek to expand Myrrhvale's influence overseas. These factions shift alliances frequently, ensuring that no single ideology dominates for long. The Council of 12, elected by the Senate, serves as the executive body of the Republic of Myrrhvale. Each councillor presides over a vital domain of governance, ensuring that the Republic's vast and intricate machinery functions with precision and balance. At its head sits the High Chancellor, who oversees leadership, diplomacy, and arbitration, guiding the Council's deliberations and representing the Republic in matters of statecraft. The Seat of Coin manages the treasury, taxation, and currency, maintaining the financial stability of Myrrhvale's markets and trade routes. The Seat of Sails commands the Navy and enforces maritime law across the Republic's waters, while the Seat of Trade governs the merchant guilds and oversees foreign commerce, ensuring prosperity through fair exchange. The Seat of Exploration directs mapping, expeditions, and adventuring charters, expanding the Republic's knowledge of distant lands and seas. The Seat of Lore safeguards education, archives, and the regulation of magical study, preserving wisdom for future generations. The Seat of Faith unites temples and shrines under a shared vision of spiritual harmony, while the Seat of Justice administers courts and senatorial law, upholding fairness and order. The Seat of Labor oversees guilds, workers, and infrastructure, ensuring that the Republic's industries and cities thrive. The Seat of Harvest manages agriculture, fisheries, and inland trade, securing the bounty that sustains Myrrhvale's people. The Seat of Defense supervises fortifications, mercenary contracts, and land security, protecting the realm from external threats. They also oversee the airships and focus of national security. Lastly, the Seat of Harmony ends to cultural affairs and foreign relations, fostering unity within and friendship beyond the Republic's borders. Together, the 12 councillors form the living heart of Myrrhvale's governance, balancing power, preserving order, and steering the Republic toward enduring prosperity upon the ever-shifting tides. The High Chancellor, elected by the Council of 12 for an 8-year term, serves as head of state and chief arbiter. Because of this 8-year overlap, these candidates typically serviced twice as long as any senator and are highly sought after. The Chancellor embodies the unity of the Republic, a figure of diplomacy, vision, and balance. The Chancellor appoints 2 Vice-Chancellors. The Vice-Chancellor of Trade, who oversees the merchant guilds, the Azure Bazaar, and all maritime commerce. The Vice-Chancellor of Defense, who commands the Republic's Navy and oversees its mercenary forces. Together, they form the triumvirate of the Tide, the highest executive authority in Myrrhvale. The Merchant Guild serves as the Republic's economic backbone, managing trade routes, tariffs, and logistics. It operates as both a commercial syndicate and a civic institution, funding public works and maintaining the Azure Bazaar, a floating market that stretches for miles along the coast. The Adventurers Guild functions as Myrrhvale's unofficial arm of exploration and security. The Senate frequently commissions adventurers through copper mandates, state contracts for exploration, monster suppression, artifact recovery, and frontier defense. These guilds are deeply intertwined with the Senate, often influencing legislation through patronage and alliance. Myrrhvale's defense system mirrors its pragmatic spirit, efficient, flexible, and economically driven. Rooted in the Republic's maritime heritage, its military structure reflects both innovation and discipline, blending tradition with technological advancement. The seas are the lifeblood of Myrrhvale, and so its defense begins upon the waves, where the Navy of the Copper Wave stands as both shield and symbol of the Republic's strength. The Navy of the Copper Wave is among the largest and most advanced fleets in the known world. Its ships, famed for their copper-plated hulls and rune-etched sails, form a glimmering armada that patrols the trade routes and defends the Republic's maritime dominion. Each vessel is a masterpiece of naval engineering, combining enchantment with mechanical precision. The Navy's primary duties include protecting merchant convoys, enforcing maritime law, and maintaining the security of Myrrhvale's ports and colonies. Within this mighty fleet operates a distinct and equally vital branch, the Marines of the Copper Wave. These elite soldiers serve as the Republic's amphibious strike force, trained to board enemy vessels, secure coastal fortifications, and conduct rapid assaults. While the Navy commands the seas, the Marines command the decks, their coordination forming the backbone of Myrrhvale's naval supremacy. When enemy ships are sighted, it is the Marines who storm the decks, their precision and discipline turning the tide of battle in moments. Among the Marines are the Battle Magi, powerful arcanists trained to harness elemental forces in the heat of naval warfare. These Magi are capable of conjuring fire to scorch enemy decks, summoning lightning to cripple masts and sails, or calling forth gusts of wind to redirect the tide of battle. Their presence transforms each ship into a floating fortress of both steel and sorcery. The Magi serve alongside traditional Marines, their spells coordinated with cannon volleys and anchor strikes to overwhelm opponents through both physical and magical might. Like their dwarven allies, the Myrrhvalians have mastered the art of skyfaring. The Republic's engineers, working in collaboration with dwarven guilds, developed the sky ships of the Copper Wave, massive vessels filled with helium and sustained by arcane levitation cores. These ships can sail both upon the sea and through the heavens, shifting seamlessly between oceanic and aerial combat. Their hulls are reinforced with copper and lightweight alloys, while vast balloon chambers and runic stabilizers keep them aloft even in the fiercest storms. Entire sky fleets now patrol the upper atmosphere, functioning as aerial equivalents of naval armadas. The Air Defense Command, a specialized division within the Council of Defense, oversees these fleets. Its purpose is to maintain dominance over the skies and protect both the Republic's cities and its sea fleets from aerial threats. The command operates from floating citadels known as ether bastions, which drift in high orbit above Myrrhvale's territories. These bastions serve as both watchtowers and fortresses, equipped with long-range lightning cannons, elemental shields, and squadrons of wyvern riders. From these vantage points, the Air Defense Command can respond instantly to incursions, dispatching interceptors or skyborne Marines to engage enemies before they can reach the surface. The Skyward Legions form the striking arm of this aerial defense network, comprised of wyvern riders, Griffin Lancers and airship crews, they operate in perfect coordination with the sky fleets. Each sky carrier acts as a mobile fortress capable of launching dozens of smaller craft, including storm cutters, fast maneuverable airships designed for interception and pursuit. The legions also employ Tempest Magi, specialists in atmospheric manipulation, who can summon storms, redirect winds, or cloak entire fleets in fog and lightning. Together, these forces ensure that Myrrhvale's dominion extends far beyond the sea, creating a layered defense that spans the skies themselves. The Council of Defense oversees this vast network of naval and aerial power, ensuring seamless coordination between the Sea Fleet, the Sky Fleet, and the mercenary armies below. Admirals of the Copper Wave and Sky Marshals of the Upper Fleets meet regularly to align strategy, logistics, and magical research. Together, they embody the Republic's defining principle, that innovation and unity are the twin pillars of strength. From the copper-clad hulls that cut through the waves to the sky carriers that drift among the clouds, Myrrhvale's guardians rule both sea and sky, bound by purpose, driven by progress, and guided by the eternal tide. Myrrhvale's defense system mirrors its pragmatic spirit, efficient, flexible, and economically driven. While the seas belong to the Navy, the land is guarded by mercenary forces, professional soldiers contracted through the Senate and the Council of Defense. These armies are drawn from across the world, ensuring that Myrrhvale's defense remains adaptable and cost-effective. Among these forces, the most elite are the Skyward Legions, mercenary companies that employ dragons and wyverns with trained riders. These airborne units serve as shock troops, scouts, and symbols of power. Their contracts are among the most expensive in the world, often sponsored by entire senatorial blocks. The Senate maintains strict oversight through the Office of Mercenary Affairs, ensuring loyalty through payment, honor, and prestige rather than coercion. Myrrhvale's greatness lies in its balance between freedom and order, wealth and service, sea and sky. Its Senate debates, its council governs, and its fleets sail, all in pursuit of prosperity through unity. The Republic's banners of copper and blue fly over 1,000 ports, each one a promise that the tides of fortune belong to those bold enough to sail them. To live in Myrrhvale is to live by the tide, ever-changing, ever-reaching, and forever shining beneath the copper star. The Code of the Copper Wave, the founding charter of the Republic of Myrrhvale, stands as a solemn pledge of unity and devotion to the ideals that shaped the Maritime Republic. It is both a vow and a reminder, binding citizens, sailors, and merchants alike to the shared principles of freedom, fairness, and cooperation that flow through every harbor and trade wind. The copper wave itself serves as the Republic's central symbol, representing the unbroken tide that connects all people of Myrrhvale, from the island ports of the West to the bustling markets of the eastern shores. Reciting the code is an act of allegiance to the spirit of the sea and the founding vision of the Republic. Its tone is poetic and reverent, evoking the rhythm of waves and the strength of wind-filled sails. Each phrase calls upon the citizens to uphold honesty in trade, equality among all who sail beneath the same sun, and courage in defending the freedom of the open waters. The Code of the Copper Wave is spoken at maritime assemblies, trade councils, and festivals marking the turning of the seasons. It reminds the people that their strength lies not in conquest or power, but in unity and shared purpose. To uphold the copper wave is to honor the bond between land and sea, between freedom and duty. and between every soul who calls Myrrhvale home. It is both a promise and a guiding current, ever moving, ever enduring, carrying the Republic forward upon the endless tide. The pledge of the Copper Wave. I vow to uphold the code of the Copper Wave, to stand as one tide unbroken beneath the banners of freedom and truth, to honor every current that carries the spirit of fairness and every wind that bears the promise of peace. I pledge my heart to the Republic of Myrrhvale, to its people, its harbors, and its boundless seas. May our sails never falter, our trade remain just, and our unity endure beyond storm and shadow as we journey together upon the eternal tide. Trade thrives in the free world, where bustling sky routes bind distant cities together in a network of commerce and ambition. Airships, once a rare marvel, have become symbols of status and power, owned almost exclusively by the wealthy barons, dukes, and noble houses who dominate the region's economic landscape. Their fleets glide above the continents like drifting crowns, each vessel a declaration of prosperity and influence. With such control over aerial transportation, the nobility holds a quiet but undeniable sway over the world's flow of goods, culture, and information. Despite their wealth and reach, the people of the free world pride themselves on a fierce cultural identity rooted in liberty. Publicly and passionately, they oppose slavery in all its forms, viewing it as an affront to their core principles. Their histories, myths, and civic traditions celebrate freedom as the cornerstone of civilization. Markets, councils, and festivals alike echo with the belief that no one should live in chains. The free world's reputation across neighboring regions rests heavily on this moral stance. Yet beneath this shining ideal lies a more complicated reality. While slavery is banned outright, the practice of indentured servitude blurs uncomfortable lines. Many nobles and merchants rely on long-term labor contracts that bind workers to them for years, sometimes decades, under strict, often exploitative conditions. These arrangements are legal, even celebrated as mutually beneficial, but everyone knows they can be used to trap the desperate and the powerless. In this tension between ideology and necessity, the free world reveals its truest nature, a realm striving for virtue, yet constantly wrestling with the shadows cast by its own prosperity.